some imaginations from the first Vierkant for you.
Well, I've only just got here, so I'm still experiencing. You know, I'm still getting used to it. But so far, it seems great. Everybody's very polite, which is impressive for me. And yeah, it seems like everybody's having a good time. You know, I'm a fan of the horror genre myself. I like a lot of horror films and books, so it's kind of cool to be here and to meet the fans in Germany, you know, in Bonn, which is beautiful, by the way, from what I've seen of it.
And do you enjoy the German fans? Maybe you get some contact before, some love letters, some nice things from German fans?
I think I've met some. Maybe I did an event in Vienna a while ago, a good couple of years ago, where I met some German fans, and in general, yeah, letters and love on social media, you know. It's nice to be able to come here and to meet people face to face, you know.
What did you think about this horror genre? Because I think it's getting more popular and popular every year. So why are so many people, especially girls, attracted to this horror thing? What did you think?
I think in particularly vampires have become more and more like sex symbols. When I grew up, you know, vampires were monsters. I would watch films and they would be monsters, and then it started with Interview with a Vampire, where suddenly it was like, hey, let's cast the two most good-looking guys in Hollywood to be vampires, and suddenly it's a romantic thing, right? But I also think that, you know, in general, people, it's alluring, the idea of someone who is has these dark powers and has to keep them secret, and the feeding on blood is quite kind of sexual, I guess, and romantic. So that's appealing to some people, I would imagine.
Julia, you want to take over with your questions?
Yeah.
He's really putting you on the spot today, huh?
If it wasn't for acting, what kind of job could you imagine doing?
Well, I love directing. I direct on my show a little bit, and I direct. I have a production company with my wife called Night Owl Productions, and we just finished directing a short film that we're taking to film festivals all across the world, including Berlin Film Festival. So definitely that. But if not in the business, then I guess I'd love to be an author, because I read a lot, and I always have since I was a kid, especially books in the horror genre. So definitely still something creative, I think. Or maybe a painter. My dad was a painter. I don't know. Something where I can not have to go to a real job, 9 to 5. Anything to keep me out of an office, I think.
And do you have any role models regarding acting, for example?
Yes. I think my favorite actors are probably Gary Oldman and Jack Nicholson and Anthony Hopkins and Al Pacino. I grew up watching all the Al Pacino movies, so definitely those guys are heroes to me, for sure. Yeah.
And do you have any favorite authors, since you love reading?
Yes, I do. I really like a guy called Glenn Duncan, who wrote a book called The Last Werewolf, and in fact it became a trilogy. And then also Justin Cronin, who wrote this vampire trilogy, starting with The Passage, and then the 12 and City of Mirrors is the third one that I just read. I love that guy's books. And Stephen King, of course. Of course, Stephen King. I've read everything that he wrote, I think, pretty much. Yeah, he's terrific, and I very much enjoyed It, which came out this year. You know, I read that book a long time ago, so it was kind of nice to see it so faithfully translated to the screen.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.